many right ways to cut broccoli. I'm just going to show you a couple of ways to break this down into florets, which are the most common type of cut used in cooking. So if I turn this around, you can see that there's the stem and then all these little florets that come off of it, and then even those further subdivide. So you can really cut off at the base of whatever size floret you want. So if you want to get in there and do that, more precisely, you can use your paring knife and just, cut. You can also use your chef's knife for this as well. What you want to avoid though is right around the stem, and oftentimes the stems are longer as well, then the outside layer is really tough and fibrous, so you want to take that off. So you would either chop that off and discard it if there's not much, or if you had a longer stem, I know it's a little tricky to imagine because there's just this little bit of stem here, but if it's really fibrous and you don't want to waste it, you can also just take your peeler and peel off that outside layer. You can actually see that the color changes. You can see the fibrous outer part and then the more tender inside part. And that tender inside part without the lines running through it, the whiter, creamier colored part is the part that you want to eat. I think a lot of people discard their stems, and they're actually, the inside's very edible, so it is a waste to get rid of it. Broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables don't make great stock. They have a really strong, overwhelming flavor, so I would not say, oh, just toss them in stock like I do with a lot of discarded vegetable scraps if you're going to make stock. I mean, I know as, chefs or cooks, we say that a lot. I think, the home cook, very few people actually make stock. So whatever's going to get those vegetables in and make sure that they're enjoyable is the right way to do it. But just want to show you how you can use every bit if you want to. So I'll take my chef's knife here. I'll show you how to do that instead of the paring knife. You can just cut those florets away. And we get here where there's more kind of clumped up together, then I tend to just cut that off. So there's, that stem is separate, and then you can get in there and work a little bit easier with those florets. A couple come off together, you can just slice them. And these are quite large, so these might be nice if you're going to blanch them, put them on a crudité tray, which is like a raw vegetable tray with dip. A lot of times, if you're making one you want to be really bright green, just putting these in some boiling water just for a couple of minutes and then dunking them immediately in some ice water to stop the cooking will bring out the bright green color from the chlorophyll, but leave the raw crisp crunch there. So and it will also make it so it doesn't brown as quickly. So that's actually a nice way to have raw vegetables. They're actually very slightly cooked. So we have these really big florets. These would be too big for a stir fry here. So if you want to break these down further for a stir fry, you might cut them, into smaller pieces. They don't have to be very precise, but I like to have about that size for stir fry. You just want to make sure that whatever you're going to mix with it is going to cook it about the same amount of time. So, you learn that by experience. So this would be bigger pieces. If you wanted everything to cook really quickly, you could certainly make smaller pieces, or if you were making, say, a raw broccoli salad, then you might have these little tiny florets. So it's really whatever size you want. So there's, put some of varying sizes here for you. And then for the stem, if you wanted to do something with this, then it's nice if you kind of round it off and make it more uniform in size. And then you could take this just like a carrot and julienne it. So I would refer you back to the carrot video if you want to see how to julienne. It's the exact same technique for the broccoli stems.